Hello and welcome to today's lesson. Today we'll be talking about Microsoft Word, which is a word processing tool. So to better understand this Microsoft Word, we need to know a few features that it has. So it has the Office button is used to save a new document or open a new document. It has Office ribbon, which are the home, set, page layout, and they contain a lot of other different features. You will also find things like the scroll bar, which is vertical and horizontal, and an insertion point, which is a blinking line on in a Word document where the text is typed. Okay, so how do you open Microsoft Word? You can use the Windows key on the keyboard plus the letter R, and then you type Win Word. Or you can just click on the Windows ribbon at the bottom left corner and you select all programs, then Microsoft Office. Okay, so or you can alternatively just click on the Word icon if you have one on your desktop. So now that we have opened a blank Word document, what do we do? So now we can check through the ribbon. So we have home, insert, design, page layout, references, mailing, review, and view. Okay, so before we do all that, let's save the document. So you click on file, then save as, and you can select any one of those or browse to find a specific folder where you want to save. So for me, I've decided to save the document in documents. Okay, so I just simply type the name of the document, and then once I'm done with typing the name of the document, I proceed to clicking on the save button there to save the document. Okay, so let's go through the ribbon. So in insert, we find things like insert tables, insert pictures, insert shapes, insert charts, insert headers and footers. I hope you can see those. Insert dates, a lot of things. We go to design, you're going to find insert watermarks. If you want to add borders to the page, you can do it from there. If you want to add margins, you go to page layout. So you have margins, which is how far the text is from the edge of the page. You have page orientation. The page orientation can be portrait, which is vertical, the page standing vertically, or landscape, where the page stands horizontal. Okay, all right. You can also find things like columns. If you want to turn the entire text or the entire document aligned in columns instead of just one column, you can add 2 or 3 columns. Okay, so now let's start by inserting headers so that we can type our names and class and examination number if you have. So you click on insert, then you go to headers on the right side, then you select the header that you want to insert. So for me, I'm going to insert a header that has author and date. So the author part, I'll type my name, and the date, I'll insert the date on which this document or this video was produced. Okay, okay, so we have headers, which is at the top, and also footers. So footers meaning it has to be at the bottom of the page. All right, so when they ask you to say insert page numbers, usually they'll ask you to insert page numbers at the bottom, which is in the footer of the page. So in this case, I'm going to insert a page number which is at the bottom right corner of the page. Okay, then now we can move on to inserting the text. In your case, obviously, as practice, you need to type the text, but because of time, I just copied this text and pasted it onto this document. Not to mean that this is what you're supposed to do, okay, unless you've been asked to do that specifically. All right, so as you can see, this text has some errors. Words underlined in blue, others underlined in red. So those are underlined in blue mean the grammar is wrong. Those are underlined in red meaning the spelling is wrong. Okay, so we're going to start by doing basic editing or text formatting. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is learn how to turn a text into bold, underlining it, and turning it into italic. Okay, first of all, start by highlighting the text. Then in home, you click on the letter B. So if it is blue like that, that means that it is active and the text will change to black. You go to U, that means the U with the dash at below, that means that you've underlined the text. The I, slanting I, means italic. So once you click on that and changes to blue, that means that text has been italicized. Okay, so we can spell check this document to make sure that it has no errors in it. So if the word is a Bemba name or a local name, meaning you just have to ignore it or add it to the dictionary. Okay, so just right click on the word and then select the correct grammar or select the correct word. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's move on to changing the font name. So that a lot of names that you can give to your text. So in this case, I'll use the common one for most documents, which is Times New Roman. So Times, they will ask you a specific one, so you have to look through, scroll through the names to find the name that you want, the name that has been asked. You can also change the text size. So next to the name, you have the text size, and usually say text size is measured usually in PT or points. Okay, so you can also align the text either to the right, left, center, or you can justify it. When it's justified, it means that it is properly aligned and it's sort of like it's uniform. Okay, so having done that, let's move on to changing the text alignment, which is the space between the sentences. Okay, so you start from 1 at 1.5 up to whichever size that you've been given, so you can put a space, how much space is in between each sentence, the one below and the one above. Okay, so in this case, I'll put the text the space, the line space, into 1.5. all right. Okay, so now let's insert a watermark onto this page. Okay, so this watermark should say our name. So obviously my watermark is going to, you can use those default ones, or you can use your own custom watermark where you insert your own things. So after choosing customized, then you select text watermark, and where it says ASAP, you remove that ASAP and write what has been given in the question. You can also change the font name of the text that you've typed, and you can also change the font size or the font color of that watermark that you've inserted or typed. Okay, so now that we're done with watermarks, let's add borders now to the text, to the page. Okay, so with borders, you have different options to choose from. Let's start with the most basic one, the box one. So you select box and then just type okay, or you just click on okay, and you have borders around. Okay, that border can be customized to whichever line detail that you want, or if you want to add things like flowers or cakes or decorations around, you can do that. Just select add, and you add whichever art that appeals to you. Okay, you can decorate the page like that, and it looks attractive according to what you're trying to do. All right, okay, so now let's go to page margins. So page margins, meaning we're trying to move the text to be aligned as close as possible to the outer page, to the outer edges of the page, or as close as far away from the outer page as possible. So you can do that by selecting default ones, or using the customize one as usual, where you enter your own details. So in this case, I'm trying to change the top margin to 2 centimeters and the bottom margin to 2 centimeters as well. Okay, so once you've entered that and you say okay, then you find to say the text is going to move. Okay, so let's remove the page borders so that we're able to see exactly what we're talking about. Okay, all right, so we'll go back to page margins. So we go back to page layout, and we go to page margins now. So if we say normal, the text goes back to normal, meaning everything is aligned according to predetermined prepositions. Or we can go to the customized one, where you align the page to how you want it to look. Okay, we'll go to page orientation. So page orientation, we say that landscape, that means we widen the page, or it becomes horizontal. When you say page orientation tend to portrait, that means it is vertical, it's narrower. Okay, we can also align the text to be made into columns. Okay, like the way it is in the Bible, like the way the Bible is laid out, you can do that to the text. So you simply just highlight what you want to turn into columns. Okay, then you go to page layout and you add the number of columns that you want. All right, you can even add a line in between to separate the two columns. Okay, so you go to columns, obviously, columns, then more columns, and then you select a line pattern and you say okay. Okay, and there'll be a line in between like that. Okay, so to insert a new page, you simply type Control plus Enter on your keyboard. Okay, so once you've done that, it will take you to a new page. If you want to go into the next line, just press Enter. Okay, so Enter is used to go into the next line. So we're going to type this text, and then after we're done typing, we're going to insert bullets and numbers. So we're going to see how bullets and numbers are inserted in a text. Okay, so let's see how that goes with the typing. Okay, so once you're done typing, you simply highlight the text that you want to insert bullets on. Then you go to paragraphs. So under paragraph, you have those little lines with dots at the beginning. Okay, so that section, so I'm sure you can see those small lines with those details like that. Okay, so you click on the arrow down to look at the bullets that are available for you to choose from. So you have a wide range of bullets that you can choose to insert. You just choose the one that you prefer, or the one that has been asked in a test. Okay, you can also add numbers. So add numbers, Roman numerals like that, or you can add ordinary numbers. Or you can add things like multiple choice to the text. Okay, all right, so the next thing we're going to add or insert is a picture. So let's see how we can insert a picture. So press Enter to go into the next line. Okay, and we'll go to inserting a picture. So you select an appropriate picture according to the one that you have, or the one that has been asked or given on the computer. Okay, you just click on insert. So a picture will have all those dotted points for you to resize your picture, so you can move them, to adjust the size of the picture in case you want a smaller picture or a larger picture to fit the entire page. Okay, so you move them like that. Okay, so in that picture we are going to insert a text box. So a text box is usually used if you want to insert something on top of something without disturbing the layout or format of the document. Because if you had to insert that text, those words, if you had to copy them and put them inside that picture, it will not work. Either the picture will cover the text, or the text will not fit to just be outside the picture. So in that case, we can use a text box for us to manipulate text in that manner. Okay. Learn how to do today is inserting a table. So you click on insert again, then you go to tables. So the boxes going right represent columns. Going down, they represent rows. So you select the number of rows and columns that you want, or the ones that have been given, and you insert them like that. Okay. Okay, so after you're done typing the text, you can go to layout of the table, and you can adjust the text whether to be aligned to the bottom of the table, to the right, or to the center. You can do different things to the table to change it in a way that appeals to you. You can change the direction of the text to either face upwards or downwards, like that, like the way it has been illustrated in the clip. I hope. Okay, so we've come to the end of our video for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. A sub to this channel will be greatly appreciated, and see you in the next video.